The day is today. Man City is hosting Real Madrid at the Etihad Stadium. And guess what? These teams are really in a vulnerable state. When I've gone ahead of a look through into their sick bay, they're really having very many injuries. But remember, the last time City hosted Real Madrid, the game ended 1-1 in favor of no one. And they had to go to penalties because the first leg in the Santiago Bernabeu had ended 3-3. And we saw to it that Bernardo Silva went ahead to miss a penalty and City was knocked out. They obviously get into the round of 16 to choose the best 8 to face the already qualified 8 teams into the quarter-finals. That is Liverpool, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and very many others. You know that very well. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Do you want an affordable smartwatch? Do you want to give to your loved one something special on Valentine? Dial the number +256 70 99 88 665. That's what we obviously had to bring onto the table to see to it that we really bring you something special. So that is Mono Gadgets for you. But let's get into this game of football. Man City went ahead to obviously, I think they, at a certain point X, the game was 1-1. If you know, you know. The game was 1-1 with a team that was playing, I think, I don't even remember the division where that team was playing, but they had to struggle to skip past a side known as Leyton Orient. You understand? And I think Kevin De Bruyne came to their rescue to obviously see that girl cross the goal line. Then for Real Madrid, I think they went 1-1 with Atletico Madrid. But the most important bit of it all is that Kylian Mbappe went ahead, obviously, see to it that he does the needful to obviously get that goal. I think he pulled one back. So, Mbappe is at Real Madrid. Haaland is at Man City. And most of us saw them as the two heirs to the throne of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Is it going to be the case? That's what we are waiting for in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Late in the night, we will see how this obviously goes on. But Pep Guardiola has come out and told us that the following players are totally out of this encounter. First and foremost, Oscar Bob is out with a leg injury. Nathan Ake is out with a muscle injury. Jeremy Doku, unspecified, and Ederson is also out. Then Rodri is one of those that has gonna hit obviously be sidelined for a long time because of his hamstring injury. When you look at Nico Gonzalez, the manager said he's obviously expected to be part of this encounter, having gone ahead obviously get taken off when they're playing Leyton Orient during the FA Cup. Then Real Madrid, they don't have Lucas Vasquez. He has suffered a hamstring injury. Antonio Rudiger, a thigh injury. Dan Carvajal, knee injury. Eder Militao, knee injury. And David Alaba is having what we call a muscle injury. That is it. So that's how we anticipate that Real Madrid is obviously gonna be without those kind of players. And now that takes us into the probable starting 11 for the side of Man City into this beautiful encounter. And here we go. System, obviously it's a 4-3-3 system that Pep Guardiola idealizes to play, but never know he can go in for a 3-2-4-1, a system that he obviously applies every time this side of City is taking on a big team. Now, in goal, Ederson is injured, meaning that Stefan Ortega will obviously come and play in between the stitches for the club of Man City. Right back, the manager has always gone ahead to play Matheus Nunes there, and I put him there, but I don't know whether he's really going to be a constant in this game of football because he's going to be facing Vini. And you know how terrorizing Vinicius Jr. has always gone ahead to be every time he has gone here to play City. You remember that season where they played Fernandinho that side and he cooked him like nothing. So that is Nunes for you. Left back. Sorry about that. Left back, it's all about Vadio. Jesco Vadio is the man responsible to be played as the left back. Central defense, Ruben Diaz on the right side of the central defense, and obviously not Nathan Ake, it's Akanji to be played into that position. That is it. So that is the back five that I believe City is obviously going to bring, provided they stick to the 4-3-3 system. Then after that, we are having a CDM known as Nico Gonzalez. Right? Nico Gonzalez. One of those that is really doubtful, but if at all is available, I know the manager will obviously play him, because what is missing in that team of City is that anchorman, that pivot, you know, and he's one of those that will do a very good job. But remember one thing, that Nico Gonzalez has found himself in a position of replacing Rodri, but he's injured, and the manager says it was a minor injury, and it's called what? He took caution of himself and was like, I'm not going to force myself on the field of play. That is the guy known as Nico Gonzalez. But if he's past fit, then he's obviously going to be available. Alongside him, Mateo Kovacic. I think this is his best position. He's not a CDM, and he can play as a box-to-box midfielder very, very, very well. Then Bernardo Silva, he goes on to put in a very good shift in that midfield three. And Madrid is also really having weak links, because I tell you what, Chiomini is going to be played in the central defense because of those defenders that are really not available. You know? Then we go to the right forward. I think Savinho will obviously be played as a right forward for the side of Man City. Then left forward, I think it's going to be Jack Grealish. He looked quite good during the midweek. And then we see a man known as Erling Haaland leading the line for the side of Manchester City. So that is my probable starting 11 for the side of City. And I believe it's the team the manager is obviously going to be bringing in through. Now, when you look at the team of Real Madrid and how we think they're obviously going to be standing, Thibaut Courtois in goal, Valverde right back, Mendy left back, Chiomini and Asensio are really going to be playing into the central defense. This guy is called Raul Asensio, meaning that City can also capitalize onto this central defense that is really going to be weak of Asensio and Chiomini. Camavinga, Modric and Rodrigo, midfield three. Then Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe are really going to be leading that line. Now, you don't know the system that the guy is obviously going to implement, that is Ancelotti. It can be a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 system, or a 4-5-1, because he knows to it that City is going to be playing at home, and it's really going to be very, very hard for them to obviously come and really dominate play. All they can do is to rely on the pace of Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. being released by Rodrigo. That's what they're really going to really embark on. But they're also going to be having a weak defense and a weak midfield, because I don't think that Camavinga can single-handedly stop that City from operating into the areas that they want. So that's what I had for you in here onto the Rokani Media Football Man City versus Real Madrid match preview. If at all you feel like you have any go about this, go into the comment section and have your say here onto the Rokani Media Football. So I sign out for now. See you later, and it's the first video of the day, and more content is going to be flowing in here, as today is the Champions League. But for your information, this is not the only game that is going to be played today. There are very many other games that are really going to be played today, you know. And Brest is going to be playing PSG 2045. Then Sporting Lisbon is going to be hosting Borussia Dortmund. Juventus is going to be hosting PSV. Man City will host Real Madrid late in the night. Then tomorrow, Club Brugge, Atlanta, Celtic, Bayern Munich, Monaco, Benfica, Feyenoord is going to be taking on Milan. That is it. So that's how things are really going to be happening, and I think next Tuesday, that's when everything will obviously resume and obviously take center stage. Rokani David is my name. Hope you guys have gone ahead to get the best that you deserve from this video, but your predictions are really welcome, and the huge question is, who is obviously gonna come up to see to it that a lot really goes whose way? And by saying so, I'm calling in for a prediction. Will Mbappe outshine Erling Haaland, or Erling Haaland will outshine Kylian Mbappe? And you know, these are the kind of games where Mbappe has always gone ahead, obviously, show himself that he's really great. And the same applies to Erling Haaland. The difference is, Erling Haaland will depend on to the service that his teammates are really gonna create for him. Because when you get him the chances, 100% sure he will kill off the game. He'll kill off those chances, most of them. But if you go back to Kylian Mbappe, he's this one man who can obviously do what we call a solo counter-attack and really win that game. And Real Madrid is obviously going to be relying onto the counter-attacking system. They'll sit back and wait to hit Man City onto the break in either solo counter-attacks, deliberate counter-attacks, or a team counter-attack. Bye-bye.